Hey, back on the CD Drama channel. Today we'll be discussing a story that has truly shaken the Chinese entertainment industry, a story that has lived for years only as whispers, fan theories, and unconfirmed rumors. Wang Yibo has finally spoken, a statement the public has been waiting for, the shocking truth behind his marriage to Xiao Zhan. That afternoon, the atmosphere at the press conference felt different. There were no promotional smiles, no lighthearted banter. Just a silence filled with meaning. Wang Yibo stood before the rows of cameras with a calm expression, but anyone paying attention would have noticed a subtle tremor in his eyes. It wasn't the gaze of an idol fulfilling a public duty, but of someone carrying the burden of a long story. He took a deep breath before finally uttering a sentence that instantly froze the room. We never intended to hide everything forever, just waiting for the right time. A simple sentence, yet its impact was explosive. For years, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan's relationship has been a sensitive topic. Every glance, every pause in conversation, every coincidence in schedules has been overinterpreted by the public. Many thought it was just fan service, while others were convinced there was something deeper. But there was never any confirmation, nor was there a firm denial. That silence is now beginning to unravel. Yibo continued his statement in a low but steady voice. He acknowledged that the pressures of the entertainment industry never allowed for personal honesty. Every decision we make isn't just about feelings, but about the impact on many people, he said. This sentence seemed to explain why this truth had to wait for years, buried behind filming schedules and work contracts. When Xiao Zhan's name was mentioned, the atmosphere grew emotional. Yibo paused for a moment, as if gathering his thoughts. He said that their relationship wasn't born of sensation or the pursuit of popularity. It all began with a long process of mutual understanding, a friendship that grew amidst the pressure of cameras and the cruel expectations of the public. He also revealed that the decision to marry wasn't impulsive. There were long nights filled with discussion, fear, and doubt. They were well aware that one wrong move could destroy their hard-earned careers. But ultimately, being true to themselves was more important than a perfect public image. Media reactions were mixed. Some were shocked, others were moved, and many immediately considered the impact on the Chinese entertainment industry, known for its strict adherence to artists' privacy. Yibo's statement was seen as a bold, even risky, yet honest and humane move. Outside the press conference, social media exploded. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan's names topped trending topics within minutes. Some fans wept with emotion at finally receiving clarity, while others felt betrayed by their own fantasies. But one thing was certain: no one could ignore this courageous confession. In his statement, Yibo also asked the public not to blame anyone. He emphasized that this decision was made together, consciously and responsibly. We just want to live honestly, without continuing to hide behind rumors, he said, this time with a slightly trembling voice. He admitted that there were difficult times when the pressure of rumors nearly broke them both mentally. Every piece of fake news, every exaggerated speculation, felt like a small wound that kept growing. But from that, they learned to strengthen each other, building an unwavering trust. For Yibo, speaking that day wasn't just a clarification, but rather the closure of a long chapter filled with misunderstandings. He wanted the public to see him not just as an idol, but as a human being with the right to love and be loved. He also expressed his hope that the entertainment industry could one day become a more humane space, one where artists wouldn't have to sacrifice their personal happiness to maintain the illusion of perfection. These words felt like a subtle, yet incredibly sharp critique. Regarding Xiao Zhan, Yibo said that he was someone who always chose to remain silent when a storm was coming. Someone who would rather endure the pain than make things worse. This confession left many reporters speechless, realizing that there were so many stories that never made it to the surface. At the end of the press conference, Yibo bowed deeply. Not as a formality, but as a sign of gratitude and a request for understanding. He knew not everyone would accept this truth easily, but he moved forward anyway. This story isn't just about sensationalism, but about the courage to face reality. It's about two people choosing honesty amidst a system that often demands pretense. Will this confession change the course of their careers? Time will tell. One thing is clear. Wang Yibo's statement that day lifted a veil that had been tightly closed. He was no longer hiding behind a staged smile. He was standing as himself, with all the risks that entailed. But after the press conference ended, the story deepened and became more complex. Sources within the industry stated that Wang Yibo's decision to speak out didn't come overnight. There were lengthy discussions with the management team, family, and those closest to him. Every word spoken that day was carefully considered, as a single mistake could trigger a storm greater than any they had ever faced. Meanwhile, Xiao Zhan chose not to attend in person. This decision was not without reason. He wanted to give Yibo full space to tell the truth without being distracted by new speculation. His silence reinforced the message that this wasn't about seeking the spotlight, but about having the courage to end a lie that had been maintained for too long. In the days following this statement, changes began to be felt. The way the media reported on them slowly shifted, from sensational gossip to more reflective discussion. Many industry observers believe this moment could be a turning point, not only for Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan, but also for the public's view of the private lives of celebrities in China. Fans who had previously been divided began to find space for dialogue. Some learned to accept it, others chose to distance themselves, but many even grew to appreciate their honesty. Behind the differing reactions, a common thread began to emerge. This story touched on something deeper than mere celebrity rumors, the right to determine one's own happiness. Wang Yibo himself reportedly returned to his work, but with a different attitude. He no longer seemed burdened by the public scrutiny as before. It was as if, after telling the truth, a heavy weight had finally been lifted from his shoulders. For the first time in a long time, he seemed calmer, more fully himself. And perhaps that is the crux of this entire story. It's not about who marries whom, nor about sensation or controversy, but about the courage of two people to face their greatest fears. In a world that demands pretense, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan chose honesty. A costly, yet meaningful, choice that will live on in the history of the entertainment industry. And for the public, it serves as a reminder that behind the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry, there are real people with real feelings. Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan's story may be controversial, perhaps shocking, but it's also deeply human. On the CD Drama channel, we will continue to follow this story, because this is not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter full of challenges, hope, and the courage to live truthfully. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over.